our last speaker is Andy Noonen, who is the instructor in that prototype and design course or program that Cody was talking about. So Andy.
Yeah, so you heard a little bit about the prototype and design program. So like I'll introduce myself a little bit, my background. I actually took this program back in the late 90s, and it was called Industrial Model Making. And I'm a model maker by trade. So when I was actually working at KI, which is a furniture company in Green Bay, and I just decided that wasn't my career path for the future. Well, they had a college reimbursement plan, so I decided to come and look for a program, and this was the program that I chose. I actually work in furniture and design at KI there, so I worked my way through multiple different steps, working from a junior model maker into a senior model maker, and then up into the management role. I also, like Larry, did college at night, did college during the day, that kind of stuff. While I was working. So I know that the paths can be very hard for a lot of people, but you really have to just embrace that path. And know that there is a lot of different reimbursement programs out there as well. I didn't pay for any of my college throughout the whole course of my education because my companies paid for it. So in the prototype and design program, we feature a lot of different skill sets that we train people in, and it allows people to be very flexible with what they're doing. Like Cody said, a lot of the different skills that were learned helped him to fabricate the different prototypes that he was making. We'll train students in general hand fabrication, the manual shop equipment, CNC machining, mold making, the additive manufacturing or 3D printing, which is becoming a huge part of the growing manufacturing world that's out there. You'll hear about Industry 4.0 as your careers grow and as you get through your high school career, but Industry 4.0 is the next wave of manufacturing. We do hybrid painting and finishing, as well as get into the AutoCADs and the SolidWorks, the 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional drawing softwares. We'll also do some architectural modeling, which is basically if there's somebody out there that needs to see a visual prototype, we'll build that visual prototype for them. We'll get into the metal fabrication, welding, as well as vacuum forming in terms of those skills. Now, any product out there needs to have a prototype built to it. It doesn't matter what it is. There's somebody needs to build the first one. And basically that's what we do here in the program. We take an idea a lot of times and we bring it to reality. We work with engineers and industrial designers to build that reality or that concept. Now, sometimes students will take that to the next level, like you saw with Cody, and he takes the design and then he builds the fabrication, where others will take somebody else's design and bring it to reality. You can see in some of these other pictures, some of these pictures that I have up on the screen, just some different models that we've built over the years. And basically, we'll do everything and anything that comes up with a project. You can see in the upper right-hand corner some 3D printed parts. Down below that is just some concept models where we're taking a piece of foam and fabricating it into a mouse that's used with a computer, or taking a calculator and making it so that it's just a replica, something that somebody can touch and feel, that kind of stuff. The cool thing about our program is you don't have to choose your path necessarily right out of high school. You can get into our program and then decide which skills that you like more, whether it's the welding and the fabricating or it's the 3D modeling. And that can kind of shoot you into your direction or your path. So that's really a nice flexible thing about our program. We can go into different multiple fields, go into different areas, whether it's cell phones or automobiles or anything like that. It just depends on what, it could be furniture, depends on what you're interested in and what company that you're looking at. I guess the things that we look for in terms of a student or that make you successful in this program is just an attention to detail and looking at making sure that you understand what kind of things matter and what kind of details, and just having that passion for what you're doing. If you come into the program with a strong passion for what you're doing and a strong passion to learn new things and to try new things, you'll be successful in this program. And it could lead you into many different areas and many different career paths throughout your career. So that's pretty much prototype and design.
All right. So I know Cody said a couple of times that it was a 2-year commitment. So I'm assuming it's a 2-year program. And I know some programs that are very popular at NWTC sometimes get full. Is there room in prototype and design right now for new students?
Yeah, there's room in prototype and design for, we take fall enrollment. So yeah, there's plenty of room in the program. And if there's more students than we want, we'll open up another section. So yeah, it's a 2-year associate's degree. We're also looking at adding an additive manufacturing certificate that will be embedded into our program. So that is going to really help lead people into multiple different career paths and push them more to the manufacturing end, or it could push them into the product development side.
And I saw that welding was also on the list, so I'm assuming that you could go from that 2-year prototype and design, and if welding is really your thing, you could also then add on a welding certificate or degree. Definitely.
And that's the nice thing is we're really nice for the student coming out of high school that maybe just doesn't know what they're looking for, maybe doesn't know exactly what they want to do. They know they want to do something in the engineering and design field, but maybe they just is still a little unsure. This helps them kind of figure out what they want to do, because we touch on so many different things within the program.
I know there are also programs at NWTC that allow for a student to do their first 2 years at NWTC and then roll that into a 4-year degree. So is that something that you're able to do with prototype and design, or would you go into another area after that in order to do that continuation?
For which that, for like after prototype and design?
Right, that can you take some of those credits and use those toward your bachelor's degree if you would then go to a 4-year institution?
Yes, it depends. You know, a lot of times it'll kind of roll into more of an engineering. I took more of a business management perspective because I was managing team members within my career as I developed. But yeah, you can go into more of an industrial design if that's more of the creative side of your background, or you could go into more of the fabrication side of type of background.
Okay. And Allison, I believe we have a question.
We do. So Andy, is there certain classes in high school that would help with this program?
Any shop class, any class that you get to take and touch things and take things apart and use your hands and develop those hand skill sets. I think with any program in the trades area, that is the key, is just knowing how to take something apart, put something together, work with your hands and develop that skill set. Now in high school, our program is very, 2 years, you're throwing a lot of stuff in there. So if you can take some of those general education requirements and get those out of the way before you come to our program, it makes you more successful within our program as well. So like your psychology and your diversity in those classes, which are offered in the high school level at a lot of the high schools.
I have a question real quick, Andy. What are some of the companies that your students, after they graduate, that they've gone to? And, you know, just a couple examples. We know Cody's story, but just because it is so flexible and there's so much you learn, just a couple other examples.
Well, over the years, I've sent them pretty much sent students all over the country. You know, yeah, we have Cody as our entrepreneurial success story. But we've sent students out to Johns Hopkins Research University, where I have 2 students out there that are model makers in their composite labs. I have students working for a car interior out in Michigan, which is called Yongfeng, which is owned by a Chinese conglomerate company now. But it used to be the staple for the big three, General Motors, Chrysler, and Ford, for the interiors. All the furniture manufacturers, I've sent people to KI, to Herman Miller Steelcase, which is the largest furniture manufacturer in the world. Motorola, you name it, and we've sent people all over this country. We have somebody that's working for Disney that came out of this program, and he works in the theme park development. So it's pretty amazing at the diversity that we've sent and places that we've sent people over the years.